Hey everybody, welcome back to more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a wonderful day and whatnot. Let's do it. Oh, will you stop doing that? Either way, so to those who don't know where we left. Anyway, now that I was saying, we are back with this. We're back at the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. We're continuing on with Case 4, the adventure of the Claude Kokoro. Well, I never expected this. Who would have thought that we'd be back here again so soon? We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. It's also weird coming back here after doing a weekend of Mario Party, like 3 streams straight of Mario Party. Imagine me becoming a Mario Party channel. Mario Party every day, non-stop, until I go insane. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning. Oh, his face. What happened to? Oh, he's got a. Oh, poor guy. Mr. Natsume, good morning. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Or is it the bagel? Yes, I've heard that expression, but I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. Oh, and now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literally people take things so literally? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Even though he's trembling right now. Really, because I can feel tremors in the floor. Earthquake! I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Miss Usato? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Don't shake the baby! Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Miss Usato? They're all here to fanboy over him? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of everyone. Everyone's fanboying over him. They're going crazy goo goo gaga over him. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecution was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Oh wait, hold on. I need a coaster for my tea. It's a weird coaster. It's a really lumpy coaster, like it's just a plush coaster with a pineapple on it. Hopefully, like, if I could just straighten it out, put my tea on it, and then hopefully it doesn't spill over because it's so dang, yeah, that's not gonna work. I feel like if I just put it on this freaking lumpy thing, it's gonna spill over. It smells great, by the way. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? there's Zeke'sy. The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeke's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded, aka Jacksepticeye. What a harrowing experience that was. Top of the I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Sorry about that, I had a cough real quick. I still got that lingering cough after that sickness. It's like that cough that just comes like every once in a while. It stinks. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they're all speculating various answers. Mundane! It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us. Oh dear, I mean no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it. Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention, but there's another blatant similarity with the trial 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you! Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper. Friends with the Reaper. He's my best friend in the world. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I rub fingertips like that. That's how we hang out. I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck. Is that what the whole, the whole lineage of the Wright family? It's just that they have very bad luck. Everybody has bad luck. Naruhodo, Phoenix Wright. Apollo isn't part of the family, per se, but he also has bad luck. Basically, if you hang out with Phoenix Wright or any of his ancestors, bad luck. That's it, bad luck. Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive! Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London with little in the way of experience or skills. Or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Ooh, oh, benevolent non-locum assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquiress. I feel like the title is just gonna get longer as we go on. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live. Ah! Just dies right now. Well, this time the court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. By the way, how's chat doing today? Everybody doing all right today? You got your tea, right? Oh, that's hot. All right then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Yes. This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom, and my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma, because this time I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last, just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Ooh, Star Fox 64, that sounds like fun. I wish I could play Star Fox 64. Wait, I can! With the new Nintendo 60. Okay, we're moving on. It's time for court. Who's ready for court? Who's ready for me to fail in court? Let's go. Oh, look at that, 6. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. Look at this vampire. Look at this freaking vampire. Have I played Star Fox 64 before? No. Look at this vampire. The defense is ready, my lord. The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed. Sorry. What? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you were a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Okay, Fancy, you better stop right there. If this were today's age, you'd be cancelled in a heartbeat. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an inappropriate description. Susato-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Oh, he's pouring it. He's pouring it. Glug, glug, glug. It's fruit punch time. Very true, and a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate violent end. I mean, yeah, it did end very dark. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. Oh, who is she? Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Who is this? Well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. Oh, it's her, the wife. I'm afraid to say I think it's quite possible that mustache foreigner did the deed. Oh, come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Oh, sorry, didn't quite catch that. It's Santa Claus! It's Santa Claus! He's there! Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zieks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. I'm not throwing my cup. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I can tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst, bloody oath they are. By the way, Waluigi's back from the last case. It's Waluigi. Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Oh boy. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hollow chalice here in this great chamber. Someone will have to clean that up. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Oh. Is Mr. Endless French Fries. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. Olive Garden? Gardens are green, so her name is Olive Garlic. It's just green olive, isn't it? I beg your pardon, Inspector? Thought to be. Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. Her name is just a color, just olive green. I'm gonna call her Olive Garden. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at the street map. Calabash Road? Mearshawsham Street? As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, and around 5 in the afternoon. You don't know if it's just you, but Gregson always looks concerned or worried, or some hint of something similar in his default expression. I mean, aren't you worried when you're about to eat all your freaking chips? When you got a big handful of chips and you're about to finish them, you're gonna be sad. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Oh, his portrait's all weird out too. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. Alright. Knife in back, unconscious. Okay, now I know the victim. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Oh. They're like, oh, here's a weapon. Ching! Ouch, that big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scrag looking Soseki-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say, rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. By the way, chat, can we make this canon? Can we make it canon that everybody born to be a judge just gets born with a beard? Like every baby that is meant to be a judge is just born with a beard. You don't grow the beard. The beard is you. You are the beard. The beard just comes out fully and everything. Just imagine small baby, big beard, and the baby just loves smacking the gavel as a toy, like bang, 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 bang. I want that canon. What if you shave it? It grows back. You can't let it go on. Then it just starts growing back immediately when you cut it off. It makes great sweaters. The beard makes great sweaters. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? And they have one of those squeaky hammers. From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Hold on, I gotta down the tea real quick. It tastes kind of funny. I don't know. I think I might have put too much honey in there, maybe. Either that or it's poisoned. If it's poisoned, we're gonna see what happens in just a bit. Alright. Hold on, before we continue on, I'm gonna check the evidence real quick. Young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Olive green. She is early 20s. Pavement of Briar Road is where she was stabbed. And reporting officer Rolly beat. Additional notes, the victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details were unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. Poison tea, huh? Huh, isn't that like, you know, third game, third case? You know, here's your tea. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was arrested. Hey Rio, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. That seems like an awful waste of tea. Well, somebody must love Phoenix Wright so much that they're killing me with tea, right? Let's see this knife. Oh wait, why does it look like the tip is broken? Somebody ate it. Somebody was hungry. Also, look at me. I'm Susato-san. Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo. Just at the tip. The tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing. You're right. Well spotted, Miss Susato. You could say it's terrible. Oh, come on, CV. Now you're just stretching. You're stretching. I wonder what could have happened to it. Yes, you don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Oh no. I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful. Wait, CV, you're just gonna drive me in. You're gonna be the reason why I've stopped streaming. Because of all these jokes. All these jokes, let me tell ya. You're just joking. Apart from visiting secondhand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsumi, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
Yes, he did! Oh, he's nervous. So wait, CV, why do you want my channel? My channel is small, minuscule, tiny, microscopic. If death and grievance have been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing a young woman? Hey Kane, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Stretching is a good thing though, but don't forget to stretch out. By the way, I hope you like this new small layout change I got going on now, so I'll be right here and small chat up there. So wait, you want my channel for bragging rights? Who's gonna say, oh, I'm Pixels by Night now? Who's gonna be like, you're Pixel now? Oh! Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Oh, excuse me? That's a new animation. Just fix it up with his fingers and flicks it away. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public. It hit somebody in the gallery. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. Somebody got hit with that. Somebody got hit and smacked with that. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest a Nipponese student. Oh yeah, so after this case, we're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna, Van Zeeks, we're gonna need you. You're gonna be the defendant of the next case because someone died because of the bottle you just threw. Yeah, somebody died. Somebody died. Like, it hit somebody hard. It crashed. It could have hit a wall, but it could have hit a person. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. By the way, chat, so you know that Gregson has like an unlimited, like, chip hand, like a hand of unlimited chips? What would be your food to eat endlessly as it comes out? Like, what would be the food right there? The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. He was a bloke. A blokety-bloke. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. Oh. Big round lady gets stabbed and she did not deflate, sadly. Yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. Yeesh. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. There we go. Oh yeah, there's the sussy sloth. I can't believe I still have that. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Dang. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything as you put it. What are you doing, Musisato? Do go on. Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. Oh, as I was walking along that accursed pavement, I can make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed into the cold hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran, as fast as my legs were carrying me back to my accursed lodgings. And I stayed there in my book fort. A green overcoat? Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? The Glocks. The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. Well, I say, there was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, Consul. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Let's table the turns. Let's go. Cross-examination. Let's go. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. A light fog, you say? Well, light for London. You could see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though. That's light, is it? Around these parts, yes. Not something I expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course. I've read that London is famous for its fog. Who loves going to London for their fog, chat? Raise your hand if you like going to London for their fog. Just go there, be like, fog. But in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance. How quaint. Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate. Hold on, I'm like seeing a bit of hair on my like blind spot. I can see it, but I don't know if it's part of me or off of me. It's like in... Oh, it's part of me. I see. At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Fog is your favorite flavor of water. Did I just say flavor it? Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Don't you just hate it when fog eats your arm up? Indeed. The other day I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling. Ugh. Susato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen. Flavor it. Oh no, not oh wait, fog? You mean like Persona? However, on that day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused. What does flavor it even mean? What was the music? What was the music? Visibility was reasonably good and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. How are you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to this crime has told us. Ah, yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard. That is correct, ma'am. Oh. Then we must hear the testimony. The prosecution will of course call them to the stand, should it be necessary. But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen. I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights. By the way, did you know in Book of Mario King of Miami, Mario now owns Britain? Wait, Maria owns Britain. Maria owns Britain now. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime. Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector. Go into London to see the fog, be like, huh, I cannot see anything, huh, mate? Mate, can you see anything, mate? Mate! Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. Hold it! Don't know why I said mate. From behind, you say? Mankind has conquered the darkness? Okay, hold on. There's many things you can go with the darkness. Wait, that's like, you're going with a Kingdom Hearts joke, aren't you? Did someone say the door to darkness? From behind, you say? That's right, as you can see from this print. I see the print. Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. Alex Gamer, I get it. You want me to go back to Kingdom Hearts, I get ya. I feel like when I do go back, if I don't remember, I gotta replay 2. I'm pretty sure I did not get far in 2 anyway. I think. I do plan to go back to that next year. I mean, I've already played 1 and Chain of Memories. I gotta continue on, right? So we can play freaking 3D game, Deep Dank Dungeon, and Recoded, and when you walk away, you don't hear me say, oh, you stabbed me in the back, oh no. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in a critical condition, comatose no less? I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's being treated at Bart Simpson Academy. I was hopeful that she'd come around before the trial started, so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Wait, we don't talk about Recoded? What's wrong with Recoded? Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminated to hear the victim's own account of events. Luck is on your client's side, it seems. Slap. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undetermined. Undermined. Oh. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid. Stop talking about my eyes. Isn't Recoded the one where they're in a computer to find the book? Is that what it is? The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Oh boy. Mr. Natsume's belongings, I think you'll find it's all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Yeah, so on the left, that is Death Note Volume 1. On the bottom, that is One Piece Volume 6. And over there is Kingdom Hearts 2 Volume 3. Yes, the 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were, irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand, which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. Shall we try that out, chat? Should I carry 3 books and have a knife in one hand, but I don't have a knife? I just have a giant sword? Just to make sure, everybody has their own giant sword, right? Everybody has their own giant sword in the closet, not just me, right? It's not weird if I have a giant sword, right? My katana, it's my katana. While we were studying the book, I was studying the blade. Alright? He's very clever, isn't he? What do you mean? He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with his books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there. So Recoded, they use a computer to go into the book, and then nothing happens because it's not important to the story. Isn't every Kingdom Hearts game important to the story? I thought every game was important. You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust a knife into the woman's back? That must be what happened, my lord, yes. He did it. He did an old stabby stab. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. Recoded is basically replaying Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories, but with a command. Wait, what? You replay the first two games, but with a command deck? Wait, what? I am confused. I mean, from what I've heard, I should definitely play 2. Dream drop distance is okay. I've heard that the one on PSP, 0.5, I think what it is. Birth by Sleep, I heard that one is good. Recoded is a movie. Oh. I get to react to a movie, chat. That means I don't get to play anything. All I have to do is just react to a movie. Movie reaction day. The closest secondhand bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place in the corner of Briar Road and Meerschaum Street. Meerschaum. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Wow, that was easy. Something like this. Oh, wow. You're pretty sure all of Kingdom Hearts could fit into a single game if they didn't spend so much time in the Disney world. But Disney, though. Disney. If it wasn't for Disney, then Sakurai wouldn't have Nintendo pay like $1 billion to put Sora in Smash. I really wonder how much they paid Disney to have Sora in that game. It must be like in the many digits. Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant will certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop. Mr. Naruhodo, I think that's what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance. Yes, I agree. The most important point is that the inspector just made being location, name, and stock. I'm gonna say location. The crucial detail in what you just told the court, Inspector, is the location of the bookshop. I couldn't agree more. So, where is it exactly? Eh? Are you winding me up, Sunshine? I just explained that. I got the map out and everything. Used red blooming ink and drew the bloke's route home on route for ya. And I distinctly remember you saying not along, Counsel. Oh, yes, of course. I must have been nervous I didn't take it in. The blunder of the day goes to you, my learned friend. No, not yet. The trial's only just begun after all. Mr. Naruhodo, I would strongly advise you to look carefully through the court record at this stage. Yes, miss. At once, miss. Sorry I made a mistake, miss. Inspector, continue with your testimony, please. Wow. So, wait, hold on a second. Sorry, some of the chat was being cut off right there. He was on his way home from bookshop. I should probably go back there and choose the right answer, am I right? Gotcha. It's about the court record. I know I should be looking at the court record, but I was chatting with you, chat. I can't chat and play the game at the same time. Apparently, I cannot. I'm bad at that. Alright, so the important thing. So let's see. Bourbon Books. Wait. The picture of Monsieur Lecoq? A meal for Gabriel in Canterbury Lecoq? Of course, it's gotta be the name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? Hey, Joker. Yep, you got it right on the dot. It's Tiga 1-4. Yep, Tiga! Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of a vital importance. Maybe. Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue. I'm fooing good today. I'm fooing good. I went through a job interview today, and cross your fingers, everybody. It sounds like they are planning to hire me, but hopefully I will hear soon. Very well, not that I can see it being of any great significance, but please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord, whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic? Sonic? Can it be any more Sonic? They are yours? Bourbon? I think you mean your. If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. Ow. This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of three second-hand books. And you found that in the accuser's room, didn't you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. Oh, that's serious slam. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Oh, no, they're not my books, they're your books. Your Books, Y-O-R-E, I presume? Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. Nani? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. How do I find Van Zeeks? You mean Edgeworth? Edgier Worthington II? It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it. Wow. But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it. Objection! Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Objection! I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street mat here if that might be of help. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. Van Zeeks honestly feels like a combination between Edgeworth and Von Karma. And then somewhere in the middle, like, Van Zeeks was a fusion of Von Karma and Edgeworth's, like, personas into one, and then somehow they just split apart, basically. They were wearing the Portara earrings, and they were fused together, but somehow the earrings got removed, and the fusion dance they did was gone. So they were fused into two separate family timelines, the Edgeworth timeline and the Von Karma timeline, where Edgeworth and Gregory Edgeworth were in the elevator that day, and then Edgeworth just shot the gun and freaking hit Von Karma in the arm, and that's where we come today. That's what happened. That's the split timeline effect. That's what happens. No matter what, Edgeworth and Von Karma are meant to meet up somehow. But for Edgeworth, it was through a gun. So I hope you enjoyed my theory on that, chat. That was just a theory, a game theory. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to sub during with Twitch Prime. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would have certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Could that be true? My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare maybe a But I do declare maybe a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely, it could absolutely be right. Inspector Gregson, where's this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. It It turns out that your books is just here on the next corner of Meerstrom Street going east. Oh. Alright, so it's farther away. And there you have it, as you can clearly see now. Oh. Drinky time. So, chat, you know what would be funny if Van Six just poured the glass and then he was so shaken up he just starts drinking from the bottle. He's like, a little for the cup and the rest for me. My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown, the way he regales us with such witticisms. Is everybody making the your books joke today? I feel like a lot of people just made that joke today, like yours. Oh, your books? You mean your books? My books? You mean your books? Your books? You mean my books? You mean my books? You mean your books? And I'm down to the books. I messed up that line. I messed up the song already. To your future career in the circus. I'm taking a picture of that. To your future career in the circus. And here is the first time the circus has been mentioned in the history of Phoenix Wright chronologically. Look at that. You put that glass down now or I'll put it down for you. I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. You're going to the emoji. If the accused was coming home from your books instead of Bourbon Books, he still would have made it that way, but what if he went the other way? There's no doubt he would still have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. Yes, thank you, Inspector. Why doesn't he drink it? Allow me to reiterate from my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend. Sorry about that. Does he ever drink the juice? He doesn't drink the juice, does he? He's always shattering it. He just shattered it. And how come his glove isn't red yet? Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Ah! My back. Ah, my back. As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. What did I say? Yeah, I had enough of this now. I'm Canadian. Beg your pardon? Terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that? Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up. It's just a really good glove. I was about to say good. Oh my god. I'm not dyslexic. I'm not dyslexic. I don't know what's going on with me today. Am I dyslexic? What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mrs. Natsumi is guilty. Oh, she's absolutely right. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. They claim Soseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but... I have to raise an objection, don't I? But just in case, I'm gonna save. I know the glass doesn't pierce the glove doesn't get stained. That is one very good glove, chat. Where can I get a glove like that? I need that for my Mugman cosplay in the future, just in case I'm like, aha, glove, smash. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. Ah, there we go. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. Oh, you gotta love it when he's confident, right, chat? That confident slam. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? For the lulz. Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime. But, what? Yes, I got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. That's right, as I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. Wait, what about the video camera? The video camera, the drone. No, we don't have video cameras at this time. There's only photographic cameras. Well, cell phone. No. Record with your 3DS right now. Record the crime with the 3DS. I don't believe this. I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors? But even if that is the case, the defense still... Oh! Are they all angry now? Wah! I agree with Lord Van Zeeks wholeheartedly and in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean we members of the jury are completely convicted now? This one is going in my cringe? What? Very well, in that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty.
Oh.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Wait, are we just screwed at this point? Everybody just said guilty. It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous. I'm dead. I'm literally dead. Oh yeah, even if it was completely guilty, we can change it around if we can. We got the examinationes. It's always crazy when this happens, though. It's like, even though there is a summation examination, it's crazy how it just ends up guilty. Like, imagine that's episode 4 right there. Case 4 is over. All right. Episode 5, let's go. Oh, I didn't mean to open that. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and the country admirably. Mr. Naruhodo. No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. Put myself back up. I have to tip the balance of the scales the other way. Time to tip the scales. I have to turn this around. Somehow. Those are the eyes of Korra, not yet willing to give up and die. My band. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. Call it antiquated if you will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses. Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with the summation examination. I know, I said it wrong to fast. Stop it. I can't read. I never learned how to read. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Wow, of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his onkus refusal to throw an onkus. Hold on, it's time to learn new words with chat. It's time to learn new words with Pixel. What is the word today? Onkus. Onkus. It means unpleasant, unattractive, or unacceptable. It also means bad. So basically, and my bad refusal, my Unacceptable refusal, basically. Reading is hard today. Don't bully the streamer. If you're gonna bully me with Twitch Prime. Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. It's a summation examination. That was the theme song right there. For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted himself, didn't he? If he said that a woman in green can last before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim? The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can't we just wrap this up now? I got work to be doing. Your books, yes, nice shop that. But Bourbon books? No, not worth a visit. That's their reasonings? Those are horrible reasonings. With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her own green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already. Oh dear, even the judge appears convicted of Mr. Natsumi's guilt now. Oh, why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody can see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. It's time for gambling. If we want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their mind. Well, 4 of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination. Yes, my lord. Slap. I just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it. I grab at you. I love how he's just back there. He's just watching me with his chips. He's like, really now, you're wasting our time now. Ow. For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted himself, didn't he?
Hold it!
Excuse me, but aren't you... Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it anyway. By the way, look at that stance right there. Look at Ryunosuke's, like, sassy stance. He is really sassy right now. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Hold on, fossicking? It's time to learn new words with Pixel. What's the word today? Fossicking. Fossicking, it means search. Until I started searching around, rummaging around. That's what fossicking means. I hope you enjoyed that word. Fossicking. Sorry. Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge. Now, there's all sorts of rumors buzzing about, and the police have been badgering me non-stop. If I could turn back the clock... Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind given our awkward history. Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now. By the way, chat, if you haven't checked it out, I recently got follower emotes unlocked, so just for following, you get your own set of emotes. Right now you get 3, but one of them is the beautiful, amazing audio okay. So whenever I ask for audio, if it's okay, you got the emote to do it. If he said that a woman in green could last before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim? You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite, that's precisely my point. Clearly that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. Let's not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible? Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign, and who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? Jeez. People are just really not cool with what the heck? It's really weird. I can tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you are too kind, my lord. That went well for her. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. But you can't deny that there are other routes that Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh yes, like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what's count is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you want to get home as quickly as possible. Well, yes, why is all this true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I have given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Calabash Road way, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. A reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home. Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. Whatever is the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room? The master's wife, where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid you understand. She's keeping up that charade? Duh, this is gonna be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you've been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean. Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It wasn't the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now. And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Oh my goodness me, yes. He's just the sort. What? Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room sporting that unscrupulous mustache. Does everybody just hate mustaches, or is it just me? Everybody's like, that nasty mustache. That mustache is... Alright, fine. Let me cut it off then. Here we go. Goodbye, mustache forever. Cut my mustache live in my... Alright, start trimming live right now. The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so... Wow, a worm. How threatening. A worm. Slither, slither. Anyway, I better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough danging things already. Ugh, I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I got work to be doing. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk, it is. So you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was. Wait, what? Another coincidence? That's right, Meerschaum Street it was. Meerschaum Street? On the map, Mr. Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets. There's only 3 streets in London. London only has 3 streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that info to your formal statement, please. What's the point in that? Can't we just get this business over with now? Please, sir, it's important. Fine, I'll do it then. By the way, I do like his beard. I love how it's just cloud on his face. I'm trying to grow out my goatee. Like, I'm sure you can see it right here, chat. Like, this side right here is pretty much almost done, and this one still needs to grow a bit more. He was digging up Meerschaum Street. Hold on, that's important. Oh. If he was digging up Meerschaum Street, then the only way he could have taken was the long way around. Time to pit. Let's see. The men wouldn't have gone around the houses. We're gonna pit juror number 3 and juror number 5 because number 5 was digging up the street from dawn till dusk.
Objection.
Those 2 statements are clearly at odds with one another. At odds, counsel. Explain yourself. Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear. What? I just want this done and dusted. Well, juror number 3? Oh, me, sir? What do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. Hey, Nernaberry, I haven't seen your name in a long while. How you been doing? Howdy to you. On the day in question, Mr. Natsumi visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meerschaum Street, making it impassable. Pretty bad. I'm sorry to hear that, but if this stream helps you out even just an itty weeny teeny little bit, then that's good. Hey Jabari, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Which means the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meerschaum Street and down Briar Road. Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So the only conclusion is this: the defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose that must be right, eh? Juror number 3, you said the following: the man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice. Yes! Stop banging on the table. No, we bang on the table in this household, okay? You just go... It's like... We will Fuck you. My lord, my judge, sir, if I may. Yes? I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. What's up, Anerna? Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Ah! What about you, sir? Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in, that's what I say. You got a new model and stuff. Wait, what model are we talking about? Like, supermodels? Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful. Well, we managed to change a couple of minds at least. Ooh, VTuber model. Why isn't it a supermodel? I want to be a supermodel. We managed to change a couple of minds at least. It strengthened our position somewhat. So what's your model this time? Is it human, animal, blurple, purple, pie, tie, bi, die? Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. It's a surprise. Ooh. You can DM me a pic if you want. Where exactly? Hold on, chat. Just gotta... For some reason, I wasn't rubbing my eyes. It was like the eyebrows above the eyes. Just doing that helps me out a bit. I don't know what, but it does. Now, if only... If we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume, we might be able to tip the balance completely. Twitter, Discord, though? Hey, go Twitter, I guess. Twitter's fine. Yes, that's exactly what we got to do. Van Zieks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent by whatever means we have at our disposal. But Anerna, I'm telling you, if it's a sloth model, you know I have to destroy you completely right now, right? I will have to destroy you limb from limb, tear you from hair to hair, rip off finger to toe, if you ever do a sloth model and try to copy me, because no one can do me like me. Alright? I have a violent side, and it's up here. This is not a smile, it is a stare. Hold on, let me go check that out real quick. Oh, it's a message request, that's what it is. The photo is... Well, Anerna, it doesn't work. The way you did it, I think you have to actually put the message, you have to put the picture in there. You just sent me a link and the link does not work. The link does not work. This music slaps in British. Oh yes, I don't think this music would slap in Spanish, let me tell you. Thank you, Counsel. On with the summation examination, please. Yes, my lord. Now it works. All right, let me give it another shot. Whoa! That is definitely not a sloth, but that is a pretty cool VTuber model, Anerna. I really hope that... Wow, sorry about that. I hope your debut goes wonderfully well. I gotta say, it looks amazing. Who did you get it made by? All right, so let's see. We got 3 and 5 out the way. Oh, you gotta get it rigged. Ah, that's the fun part right there. Let's go check with 6. A friend named Beepus. How come I can't have a name like that? I want a name like Beepus. I want a Beepus. Also, chat, I was wondering, maybe in the future I can get a more like, if I ever want to go back to VTubing in the future, I don't know, because people like this more than the VTuber model. I don't know why. Why is the human form better than the VTuber form, chat? I don't understand. Sorry, fold did you say? Fold what? No, what I said was hold it. Peppies. Or in Deltarune, it was like peepees or something? Peepees? Oh, you got the model over a little you got the model a little over $100. Gotcha. That's a pretty good deal right there. Hopefully the rigging, hoping the rigging is not too expensive. I mean, the thing is, the creator who made my VTuber model is in the Twitch cards below, the little panels. Her name is Nami. She did a very good job doing it. I don't know if her prices are all right, but did a great job. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often? I like the old books they have in there, yes. I do enjoy reading them over and nice cup of old tea. Alright, Vibrant, thanks for coming by. But yeah, chat, do you like this? Do you like this better? Me in a box and chat above me? Do you think that's better? Because I feel like me in a box just makes it a little more neat, a little more cleaner, I think. Oh, you saw a rigger who was doing it for $69 for a joke, but the slots were filled. I mean, it makes sense. For if they are cheap enough, those slots will get filled up. Like, VTubing is getting bigger and more people will want models, but people like this better, so I guess I gotta keep it this way. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question? Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. Who? Are you talking about the person who made my VTuber model and rigging? Like I said, if you look at the Twitch panels below, if you're on your phone, go to the About page. If you're on your desktop, just scroll down. I put the credits for the live 2D model in there. Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Yes, the rigging was done too. The creator made the art and the rigging. And it was all thanks to everybody on Twitch for putting the funds together to make the VTuber come alive. But the VTuber has taken a hibernation nap for a long while. The VTuber model will only come out if it's like, if I can't stream this way, or I look disgusting. And I always look disgusting. Hey Joshua, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Are you sure about the time? Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry, not after the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. Donk, 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 ding, donk, ding, ding, donk, donk. It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Has anyone slipped on black ice before, chat? Like, ice that you cannot see at all. It's called black ice. Have you ever slipped on black ice before? It is such a pain when you're just walking around, we're just walking along the block. You don't see ice on the floor, but it's freaking slippery. It's invisible ice. I've been a victim of almost slipping. I didn't fall down, but I've almost slipped. It sucks. You slipped on the ground before though? Well, CB, stop slipping. You've been slipping. When you've been caught slipping? Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. This happened on a Calabash Road? That's right, I live in Cornpipe, you see. Cornpipe? Wait, if he slipped on Calabash Road... Wait, does that explain why our defendant can't remember anything? He slipped on the ice and lost his memory? Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books. Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that info to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant. Sorry, extremely sick? No, I'm quite all right now. You have no clue how to commission people. Basically, you start a conversation saying, hey, I found you through this and I would like to know if you're available for commissions. And if they say, yes, I am, then you say what you want. First, you ask them if they're available. Even if they say open commissions, they might have forgot to update it. So it's always nice to check with them first. It's basically starting a conversation, but business-like. It's a business conversation. Take it from me, a sloth. You've changed 2 of the jurors' minds, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, just 2 more to go. Starting a what now? A conversation. It's when you and another person start talking and you go deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here. Wish I knew how to do this. I wish I knew how to do this Susato takedown. Con-pro-sating? Yes, it's when you become a con artist and you start saying, you say, I'm pro-Satan. I suppose words will have to suffice for now. It's where you're pro-Satan the whole time. So let's see. Let me check 4. How dreadful. He knocked himself clean out. That has to work with something. Dang it. I feel like I'm getting closer somewhere, but for some reason, I'm not getting anything from these 3. If he said a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, it could have... Wait, the collapsing. It could have been on the collapsing side. I think it might have been there. Pixel, what was your favorite game that I played on the channel? Wait, you like my Chibi Robo playthrough? Say what? I love Chibi Robo. But what was my favorite game? That is a very difficult question right there. What is my favorite? If it had to be my favorite, I think it would have to be one of the Rhythm Heaven games. I think it might have been... maybe it is Rhythm Heaven, but... recently this year, my favorite has to be Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury has to be my favorite that I played this year on the channel. That's for sure. WarioWare is up there, but... WarioWare was up there, but I really, really loved Bowser's Fury. But out of all the games I've played, it probably have to be Rhythm Heaven Fever. I love Rhythm Heaven. I love Book of Mario, but the thing is, in terms of gameplay and in terms of like how new it is, Bowser's Fury has to be my game of the year of what I played so far. I'm trying to figure out what to do for my other videos now because, you know, I got so many games, but I don't know what to play next, so we'll see what happens. The thing is, chat, there is a direct sequel of Chibi Robo, though. And the thing is, I could continue Chibi Robo. There is more of the story afterwards. There is a post game I can go back to, but I didn't think that people like Chibi Robo that much. That's the thing. It didn't seem popular, in my opinion. But the thing is, there is a direct sequel for the DS called Clean Sweep, which was fan translated. I was thinking of doing a let's play of that, but there wasn't enough interest in the original game that I didn't do it, but who knows? Maybe it'll be up on my list to play soon. I got too many games to play. I'm gonna try these 2. There we go. Those 2 statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel? Well, juror number 2? Juror number 6? My, whatever do you mean, sir? Oh, Jabbar, are you freaking? We bought too many games. Now we gotta play them all, so aboard the steam train. I remember that so long ago. I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. He then returned home on foot. But the man says he had no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But yeah, there's so many games that I do want to play on stream as well. I do want to play the new Guardians of the Galaxy game. I've heard that one is fun. But the thing is, chat, for me, it's like, do I really have time to play a new game even though there's a lot of other games I gotta finish? I gotta finish Book of Mario. I gotta finish this. I gotta finish that. But, I don't know. We'll see, chat. All I know is that there's more games coming out, and I do want to do a lot of videos. But what's stopping me is the things I gotta finish first. I gotta do one more episode of Miitopia, and everybody knows what episode that is left, chat. Why was there another tower? Why is there another tower, chat? I did not know there was a second tower. I played the 3DS version, and the game would stop after Dread. Why is there more? Ah! By the way, chat, any tips for the next tower? I've been told that I should level up my I should level up my members to the max. Like I should make them to that max level and everything. I should make them all to level 50 first, and then I should try it out. Probably get max everything. Yeah, because I don't know what's in there, but if it's the post game, ew. Including level 99 relationship. You're not gonna. So if I have to work towards that, CV, you're not gonna see a new episode of Miitopia until like February. What about Metroid Dread? You never see me play a Metroid game before? Jabari, the thing is, I play 2 Metroid games on stream. They're on my archive channel right now. I played Zero Mission and Samus Returns. In the future, I plan to start Super Metroid on the channel soon. I want to get through all the games first before Dread, so Dread will happen. I just want to get through chronologically. But yeah, I'll do what I can, chat. I think so far I got the legendary armor for Princess right now, so Princess Sloth is looking fabulous, let me tell you. All right, that's correct. But I gotta say, chat, the Tower of Dread episode, if you've seen the whole thing, oh my goodness, I got really close with that. But if you want to see a good clutch episode, the 3DS episode of Dread, the 3DS episode of Tower of Dread was so clutch, let me tell you. That was the clutchiest episode I've ever done in an RPG game that I've ever done. It's insane. Sorry, I just have to check my messages real quick. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in the green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, we are very well aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection.
Legendary armor. Oh no, Jabari, there's another way. The big chest. When you do missions at the middle place, you know, the hub. There are some missions with the giant chest. If you got the right character, you can get legendary armor early. Right now, the Sloth Princess is level 47 and got the best armor. I think is the best armor. I think it's the legendary dress. Legendary armor, I think, yeah? Can we really be sure of that, madame? My, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you've heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood. By the way, chat, remember, if you want to support my videos to make me do more, make sure you watch them. Make sure you watch the whole thing if you can, because the time retention matters. Give them a like, and if you can, give them a comment as well. Everything will help my videos and help me reach to the top of the status. Oh my. My goodness, you mean? That's right, I'm referring, of course, to Hard of Hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today? That is entirely possible, yes. Yeah, because he's also wearing a green overcoat. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Well, look at that. My goodness me. Sorry, you need a pee? No, I don't think so. I don't think I need a pee. Maybe, I don't know. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Oh my! Gotcha right there, juror number 2. You idiot old man, if you haven't been so daft as to be roaming around there, we could have boxed this off hours ago. And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it? This is style, everybody. This is fashion. Look at this fashion. Oh yeah, Danganronpa is coming out next month, chat. Who's ready for Danganronpa on Switch? And I did say I'll play Danganronpa when it comes out on Switch, so watch out for a Danganronpa series in 2022 if I don't have time for it this year. Because remember, I'm doing a Nuzlocke of Fire Red, and I'm doing a Nuzlocke of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. I'm still trying to figure out which game I should get, chat. All right, chat, you know what? I'll leave it up to you. Which one should I get? Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl? Should I get Diamond or Piaule? Oh yeah, Jabari, I'm not joking. The thing is, you should thank the Patreon for that. The Patreon members suggested I play Danganronpa and it won a vote, so thank Patreon for that. My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but you like to change your leaning, I presume? I do declare that I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty. Thank you. And I would too. What? Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well. Oh, I love how he just went angry and then he went to calm. He's like, like in an instant. I love him. I love juror number 6. I love the grandpa trying to keep up with the style. But yeah, is everybody cool with me doing a Nuzlocke of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl then? I think I might be jumping onto Diamond. I might be jumping onto Diamond. But the thing is, Palkia has been the bane of my existence in my previous Nuzlocke, so in a way, I kind of want to get Pearl for that, for the joke. Because every time it's Palkia that destroys me. Palkia. Palkia's not my Palkia. Well, that summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. But why would I face it? To get rid of my nightmares. To deal with my nightmares. To eat my nightmares. But yeah, no spoilers about Danganronpa though. I've never played Danganronpa. I'm curious to see how the game goes. So like I said, expect Danganronpa in 2022 if I don't have time for it this year. Because there's a lot of games I want to play and so little time. And I really want to record more. I haven't recorded a lot recently. I haven't recorded a lot, basically. The last episode I recorded was WarioWare. I need to record more videos soon, otherwise there's no video tomorrow. I've been slacking. Mostly because I've been focused on job hunting. That's what I've been doing, chat. I'm trying to make money so I can pay the bills so I don't end up slothless. I don't want to be slothless. The eyes 2, the nose 4. So the nose have it, not guilty, they say. You might get the Danganronpa board game. I'm getting the collection Decadence. Decadence has everything. So the 3 games and board game. Funny Bear go. You mean Monokuma. But yeah, chat, if you ever want to help me get these games, you know what to do. Just put a little money in the tip jar. Just feed the sloth the money and it will help me get the games better. That's only if you want to. Don't waste your money, just for me. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
He's drinking it. He drank it. Oh, he broke it. Well, rip cup. Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hollow chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? That better be wine? No, it's blood. The blood of his victims. I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Whatever do you mean?
Objection.
Why is Castlevania Dracula a lawyer? A miserable pile of secrets. Oh yeah, in the future I do want to stream Castlevania someday. Either stream it or record it. All I know is that Castlevania does look like a fun series to play. Like I said, chat, so many games I want to play, so little time, and we just got Mario Party. Do you know how much I want to play Mario Party again? A lot. I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth. Indeed, Star Wars Juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claimed. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir. That's right, it took me the whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it. Now my learned Nipponese friend, tell me, do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. Hold on, water time. Oh yeah, chat, to those who are wondering about my Nuzlocke series so far, the last run is still going on. We've ended off on a good note last time. So hopefully when I continue the run on Friday, hopefully it doesn't end like that. Because I swear that happened one time where I continued to run on another stream. It ended like 5 minutes later, basically. I remember when that happened. It was sad. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. But who here has enjoyed the Nuzlocke series so far? So imagine me Nuzlocking Fire Red and Diamond Pearl at the same time. Imagine that, 2 Nuzlocks. But I think I'll focus on one then. Who knows? Depends on schedule. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the side of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No crow just would have had a hope of passing anyway, and we just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town. Is that true, is it? It is written, only Link can defeat Ganon. The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road. Crushed in a single sentence. Have I been thinking about shiny hunting? The thing is, I could, but I don't know how to keep that entertaining though. I really don't know how to keep a shiny hunt entertaining. I would love to, but the thing is, that takes a lot of time. I wanna play games where I make progress. I want progress games. If I'm just there cracking eggs open over an open flame, I don't know what to do. And old man, cold man, you can talk? You can talk. You say that at around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a sus-looking Nipponese behind you at the time? Oh, I can't say as I remember. You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, but I will lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Ah! That's cooking, not hatching. Oh, not a cooking stream, a shiny I gotcha. Just get 1 egg shinies every stream. Yeah, just 1 shiny every stream. It'll take like 5 to 12 days. Ordar, Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. My lord, if you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summonation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. Oh! He took off the cape! So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What are you talking about? Is he getting serious? My lord. The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand. Oh, witnesses. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses. It's next witnesses? Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. Alright, no matter who Van Zieks brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over. Zoom in more. More. Aw. What the heck are these two? What the heck did I just see? Those two witnesses. Hold on, chat. I'm gonna take a quick restroom break and I'll be back in about 2 to 3 minutes. I need to use the restroom. The old man, jury number 6, says you gotta go for a pee. I gotta go for a pee. I'll be right back. Hey, hey, I am back. Who's ready for more Ace Attorney? We're back. All right, let's get back with the game, shall we? All right, hopefully I look fine. All right, so after using the restroom, I went back to get a Snapple, so I got a Snapple with me. It's been a long time since I've drank Snapple on stream, so let's go. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. One is sleepy and the other one is starry-eyed. I can't trust either one of... Does he have the string in his mouth? Is he eating that thing? Oh wait, he is. It's in his mouth. Oh. Constable Rolly beats Saw. Nothing to report on the streets, Saw. Oh, and he went back to sleep. Cool character. And I'm Mrs. Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town's hero's wife. This young town hero's wife. What's the story here? Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. No, it was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Indeed, apart from rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check that meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our street lights. There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed a long time ago. But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honor. But he's a sleepy boy. And a man of slumber. Is that the only time he could sleep? On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat? That's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly? Oh. Constable Rolly Beat saw nothing to report on the street, saw. What a great witness he's gonna be. The friggin' music cutting off. Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir? I think I found my new favorite character. He's great. It was our wedding anniversary and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day. She's doing all the talking. Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say. Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsumi at the scene. If their testimony is true, the alternative course of events that you establish in the summation examination will be quashed. It's definite, in fact, because that alternative was never viable in the first place. What an unfortunate bechancing, and on your wedding anniversary too. Oh, I know, but I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed. Imagine working and having a love partner. Couldn't be me. Indeed, however, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less, so you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. Except that the man's so tired his wife has to do all the talking. Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Alright, let's see if the wife is lying. Is the wife a liar? We'll find out right now. It was our wedding anniversary and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. Beat? Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply. Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you? I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down the ground, doesn't it, darling? I just finished my beat. Brad and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. Oh no, Rolly, I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy. Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you had finished your beat for the day, correct? That's right, sir. Yes, and although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my queen to the end. These two do not look like adults. Wait, how old are they anyway? 21 and 23. No wonder they look too... They don't... Especially Rolly. He does not look 23. They look like they're both teenagers, like early teenagers. Huh. What's that now? My warrant card, sir, proof that I'm a London copper. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty to patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir! And for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know that the plodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then. But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Hey Em, how you doing? You already... Oh. Oh wait, his eyes are also shining. Oh, we're both suffering seizures at this point. Mrs. B puts up with a lot being married to a Bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Oh, you beat both of them. Congratulations. How were they? Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold. If a little over the top, perhaps? And then kindly describe what happened next. Amazing, you say? Ooh. Which one do you like better, 1 or 2? Anyway, 2 silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. The end to the second game is so good. I getcha, that sounds great. 2 silhouettes. That's right, they were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction. I'm enjoying this game a lot, though. There was a rather plump figure, followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. That does sound exactly like the victim as pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume. By the way, how's the whole job doing? How's all the jobbing? Yes, unfortunately it does. And you're certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby? Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are streetlights on Briar Road, you see. There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling? Report cards are due? So are you doing them right now? What? Yes, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground. Is watching me rather than grading? And you should be doing your work. Remember, you got a big job. Report cards are important so they can be rated by their parents for doing bad. But Briar Road is dead straight and you could see a fairly long way down the pavement. And then there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see other pedestrians. Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer please. Mr. Beat, are you quite sure of what you just said? Kindergarten report cards, that is odd though. How many kids do you have to grade anyway? Yes, sir, as a copper who spends all day every day keeping watch on the streets, I swear to it, sir. I'm not sure as my love for Patricia is true. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Oh, goodness. They're still maintaining there was no one else other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened. It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run. Oh, you can't say? Gotta keep the kids confidential? What the heck am I gonna do? Reveal the number of kids to the world? Oh yeah, I streamed. There are this many kids in a school. Oh my goodness, there's 1,000 kids. How scandalous. Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments that followed? All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, then the other scattered something before running off. Scattered something? What do you mean by that? Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But then when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling? Yes, that's right. It was some old books. I see, old books. Yes, sir, the culprit had dropped a number of them all around where the victim lay on the pavement. Indeed, as clearly pictured in this photographic print. Round person. That rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed. Don't call him rotten. Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. But we saw him. It was the man in the dock without question, sir. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose. Everything. Any more insults you want to throw in? That's right, he looked down at that poor defenseless woman with those terrifying I freaking love Rolly. The way he just goes all like that is literally the animations of a man who's about to fall asleep, like falling down, but you gotta sleep standing up. He looked down at that poor defenseless woman with those terrifying intense eyes, and then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away. I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here. May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please, continue. Did you notice they share a scarf? Wait, is it one singular scarf and not two separate scarves? Is it just one connecting scarf? Yes, sir. I thought it was two separate scarves. If they're connected, we ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. You can see it better in their back sprites. Back models, CB. They're not sprites, they're models. Models. Supermodel. Was it your husband who went to fetch help? No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling? Yes, that's right. I asked Mrs. B to go. I was off duty by that point. But a Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Very laudable, Mr. B. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance. That's why I sent for Tricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box? Depends on the crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat, so I told Patricia to wait to the police box for the beat the incident fell under so she could go and report it. I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There is nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know? Love is disgusting. And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of 2 model citizens. Oh, please, you're making us blush, isn't he? Darling, darling, darling. Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir. Freaking love Rolly. Let's move on, shall we? Chad, is it wrong to say that Rolly's one of the best characters in this game, animation-wise? It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you? We absolutely could. Oh my goodness. Poor Rolly. Rolly, no. Poor man. We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know. Right. The light from the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he? Yes, and what of the fog? We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. Well, it is an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course. Oh, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm. Yes, alright, I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? No. The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was that little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling? Let the man sleep. Yes, it was the accused and no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the top mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir. As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Soseki-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day. Yes, I feel the same. So if that's true, where does it leave us? The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony. Oh no, then what do we do? If Kazuma-sama were here, what are you trying to say? I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony. What do you mean somewhere else? Their statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you can identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate. So we're gaslighting them. Oh, right. Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion. Oh, why do I always seem to be so up against it? Alright, so we just gotta find... Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something? I thought we were going back to the, cross-examination. I was not expecting this. Oh, yes, of course. What is it? Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right? Is it? Well, out with it. I'll make my husband punch you and knock your lights out. What? No, it's not really that at all. My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything. Like... Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I can tell you the names of every single one I could, every single one. And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is? That will do, Mrs. B. No, it won't do at all. Oh. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive her for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Rolly will. I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fist down. For chance, you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Mrs. Beat? So she's helping us by digging her own grave a bit. I like that. Might that appease you? Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? Well, he didn't say anything. I could even tell you the names of the 4 books he dropped at the 4 books? 4 books, you say? There's 3 books here. And also at the crime scene, there's 3 books. Just in case, I want to know if I have to present the right one. For your book. See me! Fiona from Shrek. I'm gonna present the picture because this shows 3 books. 4? 4! So, you're saying that there were 4 books. That's right, I remember all of them. The picture of Monsieur somebody, what's it yearnings, a meal for someone, and the thing, and the dingamy something? Dingamy? The gummy ship from Kingdom Hearts? When you walk away, you don't hear me say. I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours. Oh no, the thin gummy something. What is it about anyway? Oh no, what flaw? Simply that at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4. What? Have a good look at this photographic print at the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see, there are only 3 books. But no, that can't be. I saw them. Oh, I know what it is. Yes, you can't fool me. Sorry? It's that big old lump of a dead body. That lady's so large, her corpse is blocking the view of the 4th book, that's all. Jeez, Patricia. Let's at least try to remember that the poor woman isn't dead, even if we're insulting her size. Like, hello? No, I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. Well, Mr. Natsume could not possibly have dropped the 4 books you describe. Why not? Fascinating. And from your assured tone, something you can readily substantiate with evidence, I presume? Evidence. Counsel, you will present evidence to substantiate your claim or withdraw it. What proof do you have that the accused did not drop 4 books? This book receipt say 3 books, the picture of Monsieur something, a meal for something, and they can't, and something yearnings. The thin gummy something.
Take that!
Thin gummy. The evidence is right here in the form of this bookshop receipt. From your books, they're not mine. Yes, this receipt details Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed. No. Therefore, Mr. Natsume would have only dropped 3 books at the scene of the crime. But what about the manga he dropped? The deaf something? Which means that your powers of observation, madam, cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken. Oh no, 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 no! Oh, they are connected.
Objection!
Oh, dang it, the objection blocked it. But yeah, I saw the connecting scarf. They are connected. They are connected, together and forevermore. It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend. What? What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. So you've striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair? He sees right through me. But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. A toast to the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect. Oh. You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection.
4? 4? But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books. Quite right, only 3 can be seen in that print. That print? You mean to say... No! No! Copy! Not copy! Allow me to present another, one that shows the victim's hand. The lion's pride? What the heck happened here? I don't believe it. It's the 4th book. As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. No. No! Words all. There, you see, look at that. Look. Yes. It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling? Yes, sir. Patricia's always right, sir. Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Beat, the titles once again, if you please. Oh, yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other. The picture of Monsieur Lecoq. What's it, yearnings? Canterbury yearnings. A meal for someone. A meal for a Gaboreal, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Wait, what about the thingummy? Mrs. Bede's power of recollection can only be described as exceptional. Did you hear that, Rolly? The gentleman paid me a compliment. Yes, sir, flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless. But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Mrs. Beat mentioned 4. There is nothing surprising about that. Clearly, the 4th book is that which is shown in this photographic print. I'm sorry, counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photographic clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim. The victim was holding her own book? Weird. I wonder what became of that 4th book. Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence. See, he just has it. Cool. You will submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, counsel? Here, I'll throw it to you. My pleasure, my lord. Do you remember what happened before the trial? Are you talking about the book or the way the book looks? Because the book looks kind of burnt. But wait, this book looks pretty perfect, though. If you're talking about what happened before, are you talking about the maid, the couple, I mean, inside the house and the burnt rug part? Because look here. It looks burnt. So, something is going on here. But this book looks... Oh, wow. I actually got fooled. It's actually burnt. This must have been burned at the house with the old man and the maid. Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burned. You're right. You'll never be able to read it in this state. But doesn't that title ring a bell too? The Lion's Pride. Lion. Lion's Pride. I know he did mention a lion. Didn't we talk about a lion? Like, didn't Mr. Sholmes mention a lion? Like a lion rampaged through the house. But the lion was actually the maid. You're right, you'll never be able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages. What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently. A book recently damaged by fire. What does that seem to raise a red flag with me? There we go, it's been updated. Gotta remember to check my stuff. I can't find anything out of place. Let me see, it's a book entitled The Lion's Pride. I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all, so it wouldn't be something I've heard. Wait a minute, The Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I've heard of a book by that name before, and very recently too. It's a title I recognize too, Mr. Naruhodo. Huh. Wasn't that also a book inside the defendant's house as well? Wait, wasn't that the book that Mr. Sholmes was reading? Wasn't he reading The Lion's Pride? I think he was reading that book too. The prosecution rests. I have nothing further to add. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accuser's lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempt discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination. Futile? I walked right into this, didn't I? You see, everything we've said is true. Oh my goodness, that was such a hard pull. Isn't that right, my darling? Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat. So perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponish travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all the witnesses and seen all the evidence? This trial has run its course. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we are in a terrible precarious position. I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke, think. What do you do now? Fighting in the wrong way, but I could fight in the right way and see where it goes. Here we go.
Objection.
I'm not done yet. No, my learned friend. It's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate. Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but... I can't think of what to say. If I may, Lord Van Zeeks, it seems someone bored should close down the debate at this point. Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. Oh, poor Susato. I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable. Mr. Naruhodo. One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance, so the court will hear you, madame. Go ahead, Miss Susato. Please. Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? Naruhodo drinks that respect woman juice? And here it is! I gulped the whole thing down. What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further? Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished. I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you? Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. Van Zeeks probably drinks respect woman juice too, but he smashes the cup and the bottle before he takes a sip. He's like, I got the bottle, respect woman, but he just breaks it all the time. Does he truly respect women? I don't know. We haven't seen him take a sip yet. Or maybe we did, but only sippy sips. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible. And we did. Yes, I understand. And thank you, Mr. Sato. This is it. Susato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into this case and has hitherto been overlooked. The book.
Take that!
The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Ugh. Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You identified this clue at once. Do I make myself clear? Oh, yes, my lord. It's Naruhodo. I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means you may very well be on the right track. Yes, I think you might be right. Ah, hair everywhere. Hair. So, counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case, which this fourth book conceals? So we know it's right here. I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question. The back? What are you... Good gracious, good googly moogly. It's been burnt to a crisp. So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend? Oh. Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide? A charred book? There is just one possibility here which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance certainly, but worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory. Don't keep us waiting any longer then, counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage this sorry tome has suffered? The shop that sold it, its owner, I'm gonna say the owner. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner. I beg your pardon? But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor. After all, it's obviously hers. The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers. Good gracious, how can you possibly? Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry. Gamble? Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book? It's Mr. John Garadeb. The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who owned the house where the defendant has his lodgings. Whoa, that's spin. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. The landlords? And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but... Of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garadeb herself. Oh my goodness, me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garadeb's wife. I'm his maid. Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Yeah, Mr. Moon Guy, Joe. Mr. Moon Guy. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house? I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accuser's landlady, you say? You implicate this hardworking member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
Not doing it this time. This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house. Good lord, what sort of incident, counsel? They were kissing. A fire, my lord. Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know? The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. Ah, yes, okay, yes, it was Mr. Garadeb's bookie. His bookie. So the wife is being sus right now, chat. The wife is being saucy. The Lion's Pride. By Jove, the very same title that's the subject of this debate. Oh dear me.
Objection!
I feel like the wife is there in the jury to cover up for something. This is risible, and all you told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire, in which case it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was martial discord. Discord? Boop. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garadeb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garadeb even amid the flames. Oh, how awful. I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly? Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise her finger against me, sir. But she would pull me aside with her lovely scarf. Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. There was I, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. The man had his back up against the window and he had burning books thrown at him? Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book was thrown through a window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
Very coincidentally. No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident, and there was no report of the Garadeb's window pane being broken. That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garadeb household. But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time and not even remotely? Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. But wouldn't you open a window if there was a fire? Like, you wouldn't want the smoke in the house, so you open the window to let the smoke out. Do you want to die from smoke inhalation? From snow halation? No Londoner will ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. Does the defense postulate the scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garridub's wife? I believe it's a possibility, my lord. My lord. My lord! That's quite enough! Oh, it's the wife. Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A mean coward. Really? Claiming that our little tip set the whole neighborhood alight, honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it. All you've done is sully our family's name. No, I assure you that was never my intention. Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense. Oh, did she almost slap number 5? And he dodged it. He went ultra instinct right there. Do, 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 do. I should box your ears. That's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable. Too right. Here we go. How long have we sat here now listening to this Nipponese spotting out his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could have possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with the mustache, and he ran away from the scene too. I do declare you're right. It's true. Yes, what did I tell you? Makes sense to me. Sorry, what's that? Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Zeeks? In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings, but then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. No, wait! The mystery of the 4th book still hasn't been... Oh, he's being extra again. He's being extra. He put his leg up. If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time. Ugh. Can someone help me put my leg down? It's stuck up here. Help! My leg! Getting a cramp. What? No forgive the discourtesy this time? In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty.
Oh.
Guilty.
Oh, here we go
Guilty.
again.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. No! Does that mean we gotta do summonation, examination, electric boogaloo? Thank you for that unambiguous response. That's twice now, it's over. Mr. Naruhodo, don't give up. Mr. Sato, have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet. You're not suggesting? What kind of fitness routine does he have to do to put one of his legs at a basically 90-degree angle? I'm pretty sure he does that exercise every day. Leg up on the desk, leg up on the desk, throw the glass, pour the wine, leg on the desk, leg on the desk, throw the wine, pour it down, leg on the desk, leg on the desk. Of course, the defense has the right to another summation examination at this point. You can still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance. My lord, the defense has to exercise its right to a summation examination. You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve. I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to recover the truth. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. Determined? That's an Undertale reference. To be continued. I wasn't expecting it to be continued right there, but another summation examination, that is insane. But of course, chat, we're gonna end it here for tonight. I'll be back with more Great Ace Attorney next week. But I hope to see you on Friday for the next part of the Pokemon Nuzlocke challenge. Thank you all for coming to tonight's stream. If you haven't followed, please do for more stuff like this. This will be on the archive channel in a couple of days, and I upload every day on my YouTube channel. So until next time, amigo, bye-bye, adios, sleep well, and everything else in between that. Thanks for coming by. You've all been a wonderful audience as always. Bye.